Hey, wait a second. Where'd you guys go? Oh, there you guys are. Hey everyone, thank you for watching. This is Caleb with Antique Book Collective, and today I'm getting to you guys with this fun little set of books. I've talked about this set quite a few times with you guys before, and today I'm showing it off. So here's part of it, and hooey! Here's the other part. So it's a pretty sizable set of books, and believe it or not, guys, this is not all of them. It's all the ones that I have left, but when I bought this set, I believe this set was 30 books or even a little bit over 30 books. But this set, guys, it is from the late 1800s, and it is one of the rarer sets that I have gotten. Obviously not one of the rarest ones, because you guys know that I have some books that are one-offs potentially that have like none left of them. So obviously those are a little bit more rare than these. But these guys, there are a lot of them out there, but not a lot of people have complete sets. When I bought this set of books, I bought 29 of them, if it is a set of 30. I think it is a set of 30. But I had all but one. I think the one I was missing was book 13. And I thought it was so stinking funny. It's like I was so close to having the complete set. And if I had the complete set, I think there were other people selling like near complete sets for like over $1,000. So I was like, ooh, man, if I had a complete set, this would be worth so much. But alas, I did not have that. So this set, guys, I wasn't able to get as much as I probably could have gotten for it. But at the end of the day, I've mentioned this set to you guys in other videos. I paid $10 for it, and it sort of has paid for itself a couple times. So I've sold, guys, out of all these books, let me just look really quick. I think I've sold 8 of them, and for those 8 that I've sold, I've probably made like $400 to $600 on it, at least. So that's a good multiple on my money, especially considering that I still have most of the books left. You know, it's really fun to think that there are so many of these books that people really need, that they really want, and that they're going to pay some good money for. And at the end of the day, I don't feel bad charging people these numbers for these books, because not only are they rare, but people spend a lot of time trying to find them. And for me, I was wanting to sell this as a complete set, but then I had people start reaching out and asking for just individual books, and they were like, I will pay anything for these individual books because I need them, because I've been working on finding the end of my set for years, because I'm a bookseller and I need to finish this set out. I need to buy this 3 books, these 4 books, these 8 books, you know. I need to do this so I can finish the set. And obviously I haven't sold 8 books to one individual person, but I have had people reaching out and just asking things. I've had them send in offers. I've accepted the offers and they don't pay, you know. It's like all over the board. You guys know how eBay land can be sometimes. I mean, sometimes people just walk away. It's a little Craigslist-y sometimes, you know, just a little bit. But it's really fun, because the stories that I've heard about these books, about the people that have been looking for these books, guys, it's just really moving. It's motivational, you know. I've mentioned in other videos that this particular set of books, the guy that first reached out actually and asked if I'd break up the set to sell him just one book, he was like, hey, my grandpa was working on finishing this set. My father before me was working on finishing this set. And I think he said he was like 60 years old or something like that. And he had spent his whole life trying to finish this one set of books, because these books, guys, they are rather rare. So like there are quite a few out there of just like people selling maybe 3 books or something like that, 4 books, something like that, you know. And there's lots of them out there, but for some reason there's just those few books that for some reason there aren't a lot out there. So like for me, book 13, the one that I was missing, is actually one of the more rare ones that there just aren't many of them out there. There's a couple other ones as well that they just for some reason don't exist. If you guys work on cars, you guys know that the size 13 millimeter socket, you know, that one always gets lost. The 10 millimeter always gets lost. For some reason it's those two, they always get lost. It's almost like every single toolbox needs to come with like 3 extras of those, you know, because for some reason, no matter what, they get lost, you know. For some reason it seems to be the same exact way with these books. For some reason there's like those couple books that just no one has them for some reason. So for me, those couple books, I was able to charge a whole lot more money for them, because there were no other ones out there. And in addition to that, for me, these sets of books, both sets, well actually it's one set, but like both stacks, you know, for me, I was able to sell those for a good chunk more. And in addition to that, it really showed me that there is some really good money to be made in breaking up sets. In fact, this is one of the earlier sets of books that I bought in my business. The reason why I did not count these as the ones that have not sold yet, which I did the other video on, was because at the end of the day, I have been selling these. I sell 1 or 2 every so often. I haven't sold one for a little while now, and I think it's just because I haven't made my listing proper enough to be like, hey, I will parse this out if you guys need to buy 1 or 2 books. But I'm not too worried about it because at the end of the day, I really do love this set, guys. It's just a beautiful set. I believe this is called fine binding. I'm going to do a video on it in the future about fine binding in general, but as you guys can see, a book with fine binding, it's just really beautiful. Something I love on this is they sort of like splashed, I guess. I don't know the exact proper term, but it's like speckled with little green ink on the text block. It's just all around a beautiful set of books. I mean, I just love these books, guys. In fact, I'm going to show you a little, excuse me as I reposition, a little stack of them. So here's, what is this, 6? Yeah, 6 of them. So just imagine this on your shelf, but with 30 books as opposed to just 6. I mean, these books, guys, they are just stinking beautiful as everything. And in addition to that, with these being Charles Dickens books, I mean, there's just something about Dickens works that just people love. For me, I really liked Charles Dickens works. I have not read all of them. In fact, I didn't know most of these Charles Dickens books existed. Honestly, I probably should have read them by now, considering I've had these books for a couple years now. But at the end of the day, there's just so many books for me to read in this business, you know? I mean, I've been doing it long enough. I've got enough books. It's like I have a couple lifetimes worth of reading just that's gone through my hands and that I currently have on stock. You know, it's just crazy to think how many books I have, all that sort of stuff. And I know it sounds a little bit boring, but I really was thinking it'd be really fun just to tell you guys the books that I have still in this. Obviously, you guys probably know a lot of the Charles Dickens books. If you guys are booksellers like me, you've heard of Charles Dickens, you've heard of his more popular works, but a lot of these guys I've never heard of. I feel like a bad book person. I feel like a bad Charles Dickens reader because, like, I have not heard of so many of these. I mean, we obviously know of the more popular ones, and the more popular ones are some of the earliest ones that I sold of this set of books. People saw those, and for some reason those were a lot of the ones that they were missing. Maybe they lent them out to a friend because the friend recognized it, you know, and the friend never returned it, because we all know if we like books, we all have those friends that just don't return anything ever, and you're just like, why? You should have given me a disclaimer or something, be like, I'm the one friend that doesn't return anything, and now I'm like without my favorite books, man. Come on. But you know how that happens. But with that said, though, guys, I don't have all the books left of this set, but I do, again, just want to go over the different titles in this set. So the first one is Our Mutual Friend, Part 1 and 2. Great Expectations, Little Dorrit, never heard of that one. Martin Chuzzlewit, I've heard of that one. And on to the next bit of the stack. Excuse me. Next one is Dombey and Son, The Old Curiosity Shop, Christmas Books, Miscellaneous, Bleak House. I've never heard of that one either. Pictures from Italy, Uncommercial Traveler. I feel like I've heard of that one. I like faintly remember it, but like, I don't know. And Barnaby Rouge. It's like, oh, so that's where that came from. Like, I've heard the title, but I never knew it was Charles Dickens, you know? American Notes Reprinted, Child's History of England, Christmas Stories, and No Thoroughfare Mysteries of Edwin Drood. Like, I have not heard of so many of these, and obviously I've sold several of the books in this set, so there's even more that are in this set that I no longer have. But it's just really interesting to think about all the ones that I have sold, all the ones that I've moved, all that sort of stuff. It's just crazy to think that, wow, not only are there Charles Dickens books that I didn't know existed, but there's people that really, really want these books. And again, I mean, I've made hundreds of dollars on this set, and I've shipped them out across the world. I don't remember how many countries I've shipped them to, but I've shipped these books out to several countries, and it's just really cool to think that there not only are a whole lot of readers that love these books, but to think that I am part of so many of these stories. Because remember what I said about that one guy who said that his grandfather was looking for the books, and his father, it's like, I helped 3 generations of people finish collecting a series of books, you know? It's like, it's crazy to think. I mean, and it's so fun to think that you're completing someone's story. And in addition to that, like, someone knows that you have a really rare book, they're going to come back to you the next time they need a rare book. Or if they have a friend who needs a series of something completed, they'll be like, hey, I know this one guy on eBay, his name is yada yada, check out his store, he might have it. He had this one book here, and you know what I said about my grandpa. We've been looking for this book for 100 years, and this guy had it, you know? It's like, there's definitely a marketability to having some of these really rare books. Like, for me, one of the reasons why I have not really been too excited, Actually, yeah, I have not been too excited about selling these books. I love these books. I don't want to ever sell them. They're mine. Back off, guys. But something that's really fun about this is you can be the like go-to source for really, really rare books that just do not exist elsewhere, guys. Like, for me, I've heard different stories about this, and it's basically along the lines of there's that one 80-year-old man who runs the hardware store. He has the one bolt that's this long and has the one size thing and da-da-da-da. He has all the different nuts and bolts, and most of those nuts and bolts, they don't sell. He knows that they don't sell, but he knows everything about all the different nuts and bolts. He knows all the different other car parts that he has in his shop, all this sort of stuff, and he runs his business like that. And yeah, 99% of things, they do not sell very often. He has the, like, 1% of things that are always turning over. He's always replenishing, but he has boxes of things that are from 1894, and no one's buying it until the one day that someone needs to buy it. And because everyone knows this guy has the wide selection of things, they know that he has the really rare things, they always go to this guy's shop. And I've actually heard a story about someone who bought out one of those old guy shops after the old guy died. His family sold off the shop, hired out manager, and the guy ran the business into the ground. The new manager ran it into the ground because the new guy, he just got out of college, and he was told the 80-20 principle, He's like, okay, if 20% of the things drive all the sales, I'm going to get rid of the other 80% that are not selling. So he got rid of all those things, and because no one had those really rare things that they could not get anywhere else, people stopped going to that place, because what set that place apart was the fact that it had all those rare things. And now that they only had the more common things, well, you can get that from Home Depot, you can get that from Amazon. Whereas if you have really rare things like these books right here, really rare, really hard to find, and really sought after, it's like the ultimate mix for having a very successful business. Like, honestly, guys, if I had to focus on just one aspect of my business, like one book to sell on my entire business, it'd be this set of books. Like, I think I could make a full-time income just selling this set of books if I had an infinite amount of them. Not only are they beautiful, not only do I think that I could like interest new buyers in it if I had an infinite amount of them, but I just think that they're rare enough right now that people would really want them. They'd pay top dollar for them. Of course, if I had an infinite number of them, they wouldn't be very rare afterwards. But at the end of the day, there's just the quality of how they were made. As I had mentioned earlier, I believe this is called fine binding. That's what everyone described it as in these books. I mean, they were just built very, very well. I mean, you could feel the quality in these books when you feel them. And that's just something you don't have in books very often anymore. Nowadays, you grab a book and you open it up and you're like, this is hardcover, and it's already feels like it's not going to last 10 years. These books here, guys, like, they're over 100 years old and they're still trucking. In fact, they're still better condition than a lot of the hardcover books that I bought that are brand new, So it's crazy to think stuff like that. So with all that said and done, though, guys, thank you for watching. Please don't buy these books off of me. They are mine. Back off. I'm sort of joking. If you guys do need it, you can track me down on eBay. I don't share my store name, but I don't block everyone under the sun that might know my YouTube channel. So I am out there if you guys really want to search, but I don't share it because I do want to have the air gap between me, my business of YouTube, and my business on eBay, just because there are trolls on the internet that do go after YouTubers and try to ruin their businesses. I have a few friends that have had stuff like that happen. I don't want that happening to me and with my business. I'm sorry that's the case, but you can definitely try to hunt me down. I just won't let you buy me my books. These are mine. Back off. Again, I'm joking. You guys really do need these. Everything's for sale, basically, except for, I don't know, me. You can't buy me. How about that? But with that said and done, though, guys, thank you for watching. I hope that you guys can find amazing sets of books that are rare like this, that can get you really good money like this. And I really hope, guys, that you guys can get them for really low cost like mine. So again, guys, I paid $10 for these. I did have to drive a little ways to get these books, though. So these books, guys, I live in Gresham. I bought these in a town called Redmond, which is one of my favorite towns in Oregon, honestly. And Redmond, it's, I want to say, a little over 3 hours from where I live. I hit a couple other things as I was going out and doing this one. In fact, I hit Redmond, and then I went over to Bend, and then after Bend, I went down to Redding. So that was a lot of driving in one day, guys. I want to say that was probably like 14 hours of driving, somewhere in there. Driving and also doing the estate sales. That was a very long day. But I do long trips like that sometimes. This set, again, guys, I've had it for a long time. Been selling it off often, so I always am like relisting it as I have to adapt it because someone bought 1 or 2 books, But end of the day, I did have to do some driving to find this really good deal, but this one set of books is paid for that trip several times over, It's just really fun to think, crazy to think that something like this could really do that. So I hope that you guys in your businesses and your own collections can come across books like this that are rare and beautiful, and honestly guys, they are in great stinking shape. I mean, it's not often you find a book from the 1800s that looks like it could be like just 20 years old, you know? It's not often you come across books like this that are just so well preserved and so well made. So with that said, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you want to learn more about antique book buying, collecting, storing your books, buying books, running your own antique book business. I go over all that, so please subscribe. Please check out one of my other videos. It'd mean a lot to me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.